Dear friends, I welcome you all to my YouTube channel Mithun Study Group. In today's video, I have prepared about the historical background of Indian Constitution, which include the Government of India Act 1919 and are useful for various competitive examinations. Okay guys, now let's get started. Government of India Act of 1919. On August 20, 1917, the British government declared for the first time that its objective was the gradual introduction of responsible government in India. The Government of India Act of 1919 was thus enacted, which came into force in 1921. This act is also known as Montagu-Chelmsford Reforms. Montagu was the Secretary of State for India and Lord Chelmsford was the Viceroy of India. Features of Government of India Act of 1919. It relaxed the central control over the provinces by demarcating and separating the central and provincial subjects. The central and provincial legislatures were authorized to make laws on their respective list of subjects. However, the structure of government continued to be centralized and unitary. It further divided the provincial subjects into two parts, transferred and reserved. The transferred subjects were to be administered by the governor with the aid of ministers responsible to the Legislative Council. The reserved subjects, on the other hand, were to be administered by the governor and his executive council without being responsible to the Legislative Council. This dual scheme of governance was known as diarchy, a term derived from the Greek word diarch, which means double rule. However, this experiment was largely unsuccessful. It introduced for the first time bicameralism and direct elections in the country. Thus, the Indian Legislative Council was replaced by a bicameral legislature consisting of an upper house, means Council of the State, and a lower house, which means Legislative Assembly. The majority of the members of both the houses were chosen by direct election. It required that the 3 of the 6 members of the Viceroy's Executive Council other than the Commander-in-Chief were to be Indian. It extended the principle of communal representation by providing separate electorates for Sikhs, Indian Christians, Anglo-Indians and Europeans. It granted franchise to a limited number of people on the basis of property, tax or education. It provided for the establishment of a Public Service Commission. Hence, a Central Public Service Commission was set up in 1926 for recruiting civil servants. It separated for the first time provincial budgets from the central budget and authorized the provincial legislatures to enact their budgets. Simon Commission. In November 1927, the British government announced the appointment of a 7-member statutory commission under the chairmanship of Sir John Simon to report on the condition of India under its new constitution. All the members of the commission were British, and hence all the parties boycotted the commission. The commission submitted its report in 1930 and recommended the abolition of diarchy, extension of responsible government in the provinces, establishment of a federation of British India and princely states, continuation of communal electorate, and so on. To consider the proposals of the commission, the British government convened 3 roundtable conferences of the representatives of the British government, British India, and Indian princely states. On the basis of these discussions, a white paper on the constitutional reforms was prepared and submitted for the consideration of the Joint Select Committee of the British Parliament. The recommendations of this committee were incorporated in the Government of India Act of 1935. Communal Award. In August 1932, Ramsay MacDonald, the British Prime Minister, announced a scheme of representation of the minorities which came to be known as the Communal Award. The award not only continued separate electorates for the Muslims, Sikhs, Indian Christians, Anglo-Indians and Europeans, but also extended it to the depressed classes like scheduled castes. Gandhiji was distressed over this extension of the principle of communal representation to the depressed classes and undertook fast unto death in Yeravada jail, situated at Pune, to get the award modified. At last, there was an agreement between the leaders of the Congress and depressed classes. The agreement known as Poona Pact retained the Hindu joint electorate and gave reserved seats to the depressed classes. I hope this video is useful for you. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time, and please don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you.